Well, the Maltese authorities have rescued some 14,000 migrants from the Mediterranean over the last few days and weeks. Let's speak to Lieutenant Keith Caruana, who's on the line from Malta. Thank you so much for being on the programme. Just how stretched are your authorities trying to carry out all these rescues?
Of course, good afternoon to you. Of course, that is a big concern, not just to us. It's a concern to the Italian counterparts that we work very closely with. And it is a responsibility that we take very seriously. We have been taking this responsibility very seriously for the past 10 years. As you mentioned before, in the past 20 years, we have saved around 14,000 people. That includes migrants. The majority, the lion's share, are migrants crossing this perilous journey. So, of course, we do have a responsibility at sea to save lives. That is our focus at the moment. Most of the operations are happening in Libyan search and rescue region, coordinated by the Italians. Of course, we're doing our share through aero-naval operations that are developing as we speak.
Just the tide of people is quite staggering at the moment. For those you've managed to rescue, what actually happens to them?
So, the normal operations would start off by the call. So you'd have a call mostly through satellite phone from on board these vessels, and they would call either Rome or Malta's Search and Rescue Coordination Center. Immediately we start trying to investigate what is happening in that particular instance. So we try and send the closest ship that is passing through the area, whether it is a merchant vessel or a military vessel. And ideally, we also send, when it's available or close by, a reconnaissance aircraft. So a maritime patrol aircraft would investigate what is happening at that particular time. So, of course, priority is to save lives, and we deploy assets as the need may arise to get to that area and assist us as necessary. And after that, of course, is we see what needs to be done, and we intervene when we either see that the situation is imminently in danger. Just for example, in this case, we had reports of people at sea, so you deploy the Italian assets in this particular case. Just to give you the magnitude, to have over 20 vessels in this particular case, all coordinated by the Italian Coast Guard, working for the same scope.
You talk about the magnitude. Your own Prime Minister has talked about a genocide at sea at the moment. In terms of once the rescue is completed and those migrants are brought to shore, what eventually happens to them? Where do they go?
Well, the normal process, the Armed Forces of Malta is the Search and Rescue Authority, so our role is to save lives and get them to the pier. And after that, that would be the Malta Police Force. We'll give them over to the Malta Police Force. We provide anything that we have found on board that could be used as evidence to the Malta Police, and then they are processed through the Malta's immigration police officers, who would process these migrants, see their identity, and eventually they are processed by the Immigrants Commission locally. And then they will be distributed either to detention centers or open centers, and there's a whole process that tries to investigate their origin and then processes them accordingly.
Okay. Well, Lieutenant, thank you very much for joining us on today's